people have asked me a lot of times, well, why don't you have a parade? And why don't you like throw out beads and glitter and candy and all of those things? It's easy to think that if you live in a state where it's in a liberal bubble, you know, the West Coast, the East Coast. We are not free being gay people here in Jackson, Mississippi.
I would like to invite your minds to imagine that this is the year 1984. If a young man from Canton, Mississippi walked in to be tested for HIV in 1984 and tested positive, the odds are he would be given 6 months to a year to live. And the real reality is that that life, that potential would be lost.
No victim song. I am a woman. I am an artist. And I know where my voice belongs.
Hello, everyone, and thank you all for being a part of a cause that is dear to my heart. The AIDS Memorial Quilt has been a powerful voice for justice and activism for 35 years. Even so, the stories of Black and brown lives lost to AIDS have not always been told.
In 2020, the South only made up 38% of the nation's population. However, more than 50% of all new HIV diagnoses in the country are in the Southern U.S. The people mostly affected are in Black, brown, and LGBTQ+ communities. You got racism, HIV stigma, homophobia, poverty, and barriers to health care. They all continue to drive these disparities. In the fight to end HIV and AIDS in the Southern U.S., the National AIDS Memorial is partnering with Southern AIDS Coalition to bring sections of the AIDS Memorial Quilt to communities throughout the region. Change the Pattern is a call to action to end HIV in these communities of color. Let's take action for our health and change the pattern together.
We're trying to change the pattern of access. We're trying to change the pattern of opportunity. We're trying to change the pattern of people not being connected with these numbers that we hear so much about, that HIV and AIDS is raging in the Black community, it's raging in marginalized communities, but we need to see it. So when you make a panel, what you're seeing is you're seeing the people who are affected by the pandemic. There are faces, there are names go along with these numbers that we hear.
Since the start of the AIDS crisis, over 750,000 Americans have lost their lives. Today, more than 1.2 million live with the virus, and over 13% of those are unaware that they even have it. Most of these new cases are found in the Southern U.S. and communities of color. The roots of the AIDS crisis has always been in injustice, health injustice, and social injustice. So our work today is in the South, bringing about an end to the AIDS crisis.